The 2024 Atlantic hurricane season is now underway, amid predictions of heightened activity.
This season is looking to be an extraordinary one in a number of ways.
We have conditions in place not only in the atmosphere but in the oceans over the Atlantic Ocean that we feel are conducive for an active season.
From the perspective of Palm Beach Fire Rescue, we really want residents to know, get prepared.
The biggest threat on Barrier Island is storm surge.
If there's a storm imminent, you need to evacuate. It doesn't matter how good your house is if it's underwater.
I'm Claudia Shea. Record warm ocean waters and less wind shear due to the anticipated formation of La Nina are leading to predictions of a highly active hurricane season. We spoke with experts in charge of public safety in Palm Beach and attended the Governor's Hurricane Conference in West Palm Beach, the nation's largest conference focusing on hurricane planning and response, where we met with state and federal officials to gather essential information to help keep you safe before, during, and after a hurricane. And now, our special report ahead of the storm.
Ahead of the Storm, co-sponsored by the Palm Beach Civic Association and the Palm Beach Police and Fire Foundation.
In Palm Beach, accurate and timely weather information is essential for effective emergency planning and response. This WeatherStem station, installed on the roof of Central Fire Rescue, monitors real-time weather conditions specific to the island, enabling crews to monitor approaching storms, track their progression, and prepare.
What's good about having the WeatherStem on the island is we can make real-time decisions on our weather right here.
This pinpoint weather analysis, combined with state and federal forecasting technology, is especially critical during severe storms because of the town's heightened vulnerability as a barrier island.
That storm surge risk is very real for everybody in Palm Beach on the Barrier Island. You live in a storm surge evacuation zone. If you're asked to evacuate, where you're going to go, how you're going to get there, what you're going to take with you, how you're going to help your friends, neighbors, loved ones to get to a safe place.
And those plans may be put to the test this summer. WPBF meteorologist Glenn Glazer shows us the hurricane season forecast.
Hello, town of Palm Beach. This is our exclusive WPBF 2024 hurricane season forecast. We'll take a look first at the latest forecast from NOAA for this hurricane season, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, forecasting the highest number of storms they've ever forecasted. 17 to 25 named storms, 8 to 13 of those becoming hurricanes, and 4 to 7 of those becoming major hurricanes, Category 3 or higher. We ourselves put together our own outlook for the season. We went with 16 to 20 named storms, 8 to 10 of them hurricanes, and 3 to 5 of them being major hurricanes. Also, we are forecasting an above average season, just like NOAA and Colorado State University had a similar forecast. But how does our forecast work? What we do is we identify repeating weather patterns in the atmosphere, mainly between the months of October and early December. Then we watch the atmosphere to see if those patterns repeat themselves. And once they do, we are able to figure out how long it is between each repeating part of the pattern, and we can apply that to the calendar, giving us an idea of when and where we could see tropical systems develop over and over again this coming hurricane season. So we saw 3 things of interest: an area of low pressure October 11th in the Gulf, another October 30th, and another in the eastern Gulf on November 15th. Each of these repeated themselves over and over again during the winter months and into the spring. So here is when we determine they will return during hurricane season. Potential return dates for the first low, early October, developed in 2023, moving somewhere between the Louisiana and the Big Bend part of Florida, June 3rd through the 7th, July 20th through the 24th, and September 4th through the 9th. It doesn't mean it's going to be a hurricane every time, but it could become something tropical as it redevelops. Also, from Louisiana to the Big Bend part of Florida and up to the Carolina coast. That's the late October 2023 low that developed, returning June 20th through the 25th, August 6th through the 12th, and September 22nd through the 29th. And finally, an area of low pressure that actually split into 2 lows. One moved up into the panhandle of Florida, the other traveled right across South Florida. And on May 19th, which is already passed as you're watching this, the same area of low pressure that redeveloped created 13 severe thunderstorm warnings as it crossed South Florida and over toward the Bahamas, where it did actually develop into a small area of low pressure. We expect that to return July 5th through the 10th and August 21st through the 27th. So these are the hot spots, the most likely spots we think could see some sort of tropical impact this hurricane season. Just remember, if something tropical does develop this hurricane season, make sure you tune in to WPBF. We'll have the latest information to help keep you and your family safe during a tropical event.
From Alberto to William, 21 tropical cyclone names released by NOAA for this 2024 season. NOAA's Climate Prediction Center, or CPC, bases storm formation estimates on a confluence of environmental factors.
The official CPC forecast issued just this month indicates a 77% chance of La Nina forming during the August-October timeframe. We know the development of La Nina can lead to weaker easterly trade winds and below-average vertical wind shear in the tropical Atlantic Ocean. This type of environment can be more conducive for tropical cyclone development. Also, NOAA's National Centers for Environmental Information has reported record warm water temperatures for much of the tropical Atlantic Ocean.
Warm sea surface temperatures play an important factor in the rapid intensification of tropical cyclones to major hurricane status, underscoring the importance of not letting your guard down.
The strongest hurricanes that have ever hit the United States, the Category 5s and the high-end Category 4s, all rapidly intensified right up until landfall.
The best defense against storms is preparing and staying connected with emergency services. Sally Lewis joins us with storm prep reminders.
Having your hurricane supplies well ahead of a storm is critical to planning, as is staying connected and informed. When a major storm or hurricane strikes, communication becomes our lifeline, allowing us to get information and resources from authorities that can help keep us safe. The time to start is now.
We need you to start putting all your plans together, getting your resources, getting connected by signing up for Palm Beach Civic Alerts so that you are connected with everything that's going on with the town. So as we issue alerts or directives, you can get that firsthand from your local government.
The town has a webpage dedicated to hurricane preparedness where you will find hurricane monitoring and a disaster supply checklist, from medication supplies to batteries and flashlights, items for your pets, plus first aid supplies and reminders to set aside important documents such as banking information and an insurance checklist to make sure you have enough coverage for your home, car, or boat in the event of major damage. Also important is to stay informed by signing up for Civic Alerts via text and email through the town's communications platform, allowing you to find out what's happening in real time. The town's non-emergency phone line is 561-838-5400. And now those alerts are specific to where you live and work.
So let's say if you're on the north end, if there is an event that's specifically impacting your area, you can sign up for alerts for your area of your residence or your business. So you can still stay connected remotely through that platform.
Chief Baker also encourages business owners to think ahead and take steps now to ensure the organization can keep running in the event of a major storm.
What are your employees going to do when an evacuation order and they can't come to work, right? There's things like, simple things like payroll, securing your facility, figuring out how long it's going to take to get power back on, is your food secure, and all those things. Your business continuity plans for your businesses, what does that look like?
If a business has to close for an extended period of time, experts say having a continuity plan in place will increase the chances the organization can survive a major disaster. The Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA, offers resources for businesses, including a Ready Business Hurricane Toolkit that will help guide organizations through the process of preparing at ready.gov. Palm Beach Police encourage residents staying in town for the summer to register for the Hurricane Reentry List, so if there is an evacuation order, your name will be on a priority list to return once the island is deemed safe.
We have a running list at the police station. What the residents need to do is call us at the police station, get your name, ensure that your name, your family members are on that list. And if you have a representative for your home or property, add them to the list as well. They will be the first ones to be allowed back on the island after a storm.
There's a lot to remember, so we placed a link to the Town of Palm Beach's hurricane preparedness page, which includes checklists, and a link to sign up for civic alerts on our website at palmbeachcivic.org.
The state is giving you a break on buying those qualifying hurricane supplies with 2 disaster preparedness sales tax holidays. The first runs through Friday, June 14th. The second runs from August 24th through September 6th. Tax-exempt items are broken down into categories ranging from items like pet food under $10 to portable generators costing $3,000 or less. You'll find the state's list of eligible items online at floridarevenue.com/disasterprep and also on our website. Once you have these items, assemble an emergency kit, being sure to include essentials like water, non-perishable food, medications, flashlights, batteries, and important documents. And make sure every family member knows the plan, including evacuation information.
When the evacuation order is placed, we really need everybody to evacuate. And that means that you need to start making plans now for where you're going to go. Especially the people that have pets, that want to take care of their pets, and people that have special needs that might need medical assistance or mobility issues. They need to make a plan now to get off the island.
The county oversees the operation of hurricane evacuation shelters, including those that accommodate guests with special needs and others that are pet-friendly. While shelters are set up in schools, the timing of their opening and locations can change due to the circumstances of the storm.
Operations here on the island shut down around 65 miles an hour, give or take, just because of our high-profile vehicles for fire rescue. Anything above that, we don't operate until the winds can die down, and then we go out to mitigate the emergencies. One message to take away from the evacuation is not just for you, but it's for the responders. If you are in a precarious situation during a storm, we can't readily come get you until the conditions subside enough to go outside.
If you own a boat, also consider when and where to move it. Once officials lock down the drawbridges, they'll remain closed for the duration of the severe weather and until the bridges and waterways can be assessed for damage. Bridges will remain open to vehicular traffic, however, driving during high winds is not safe.
In terms of the bridge lockdowns, that's a factor for the Department of Transportation. But we institute the town's border security policy as the storm is approaching. And as soon as the storm has passed and it's safe for the officers to get back out on the road, we're going to institute checkpoints at every avenue onto the island. And we're going to control access to the island.
The town's re-entry program takes place in 5 stages following the passage of a storm.
At first, we are not going to let anybody come back on the island. We're going to do damage assessments, clear the roads, make sure that it's safe to do so, and then in steps, we're going to gradually open the island as the days pass after the storm.
The town's post-storm management will be conducted in the island's Emergency Management Center, located on the 3rd floor of the Central Fire Station.
The beauty of this building and this Emergency Operations Center is it is one of the only hardened structures on the island. Town government can operate here, right? We would have the town manager's office in here, we have finance, we have people and culture, our human resources department, the police department, fire rescues, different levels, right? You have the finance, logistics, operations, and planning sections, all can operate within this room. This room can be used for protracted events, right? We wouldn't be in here for a day or two, but if there's something that has a lot of damage that's going to last for days and weeks, this is where this room would really come into play.
Just as the town's communications efforts continue to evolve in the best interest of those who live and work here, so does state and federal forecasting technology. New this season, NOAA is implementing improvements to its forecast communications, decision support, and storm recovery efforts. For example, beginning in August, the National Hurricane Center will roll out an experimental version of the forecast cone graphic that includes a depiction of inland tropical storm and hurricane watches and warnings.
So it's a statistical analysis of where we think where the storm's going to be. So what we're trying to do here, and here's an example of it on the screen, it's a new cone. So you're going to still have the cone of uncertainty with a statistical analysis, but at the same time, we're also going to put our watches and warnings. We're going to put the impacts on the map. And this is a way that we can show everyone in the public and give everybody in the media a graphic to show to say, wow, there's sure a lot of impacts outside that cone.
Also this season, the National Hurricane Center will issue tropical cyclone watches and warnings with regular or intermediate public advisories. So if updates to watches and warnings for storm surges or winds are needed, the public will be notified quickly instead of having to wait for the next full advisory every 6 hours.
In the event that Palm Beach does fall within that cone of uncertainty and the seas start kicking up and the conditions start deteriorating, expect a town alert requesting a suspension of landscape trimming and placing debris along roadways. Curbside waste placed before a storm can clog storm drains and cause flooding. In addition to remaining connected to Town of Palm Beach alerts, keep an eye on NOAA's forecasts, county resource information, and additional safety information compiled by the Palm Beach Civic Association and located on our website. The Atlantic hurricane season runs through November 30th. Stay informed, stay safe, and take action now to protect your property and your family. Thanks for joining us.
The Palm Beach Civic Association extends our gratitude to the Palm Beach Police and Fire Foundation for co-sponsoring Ahead of the Storm.